Okay, I think I want to pull some cards this morning and ask if this thing with the oil, is it going to lead to jumps forward in clean energy? Okay. Is this thing with Russia now going to spur us forward to getting other options for energy? Will this be enough? Will this be enough? Will this be enough? Okay, so let's pull our cards real quick and see what we have. Okay, above it. Below it. Okay. So let's look and see what we have. At the center of it all is, communicating one to another about getting together to put an end to the fossil fuel things, okay, and the government and those with knowledge and power stepping up. Okay, so that's what we're asking. We're asking about, is this enough, or is there enough talk, enough getting together, put an end to the fossil fuel things and moving it forward to something better? Hierophant can be communing. Sometimes they see it as government, but also those in the know. Are they going to come together, work together to do different energy sources? So going into it, we see judgment. This has been a long time in coming, and the thing with the fossil fuels we're going through now, this is heartbreaking. Okay? So going into it, we're seeing that judgment. We need to do something. Okay? This is painful. People can't afford to be having gas prices and continued gouging. Okay? So going forward, we see those wanting to come up with ideas. And it's also starting with the money thing. We have to deal with the powers that be. They've had a lot of influence, those that own the gas companies and that. And so we have a struggle with coming up with stuff. Okay? So I think they're going to start, but they have to deal with, what was that one? There was a guy that came up with a different type of car, Tucker, and the powers that be, other car things, shut him down. Okay? Well, it's the same thing, they coming up with new ideas, but they have to fight. They have to fight with those that are powerful, that have fossil fuels, etc. Okay, underneath of it, let's see what we have. We need to stabilize. It's usually my thing for the White House too. We're kind of out in the cold with, who they've been in bed with, basically. Okay? So these things need to be changed. Now let's look and go forward. It says, they're thinking about it. It would be a big struggle, but let's see. Let's just ask if that's going to come. We know that the oil and gas moguls are going to do everything they can to railroad it. Okay? will new energy sources come forward? Will new energy sources come forward in the foreseeable future? Let's just put it that way. Will they be able to bring new energy resources forward in the foreseeable future? So first thing, we have those that are, seeing the truth of that, fighting for the truth of that, wanting to move forward. Now, usually the Knight of Swords is rushing forward. This guy doesn't look like he's rushing, okay? But he's looking at the truth of it, wanting to fight for that. But we have the happy merchants, okay? Again, got to deal with the merchants, okay? In the center of it, this is something that's being juggled, okay? Let's look at what's above it. What's above it is we need more help from the White House, the powers that be, stability when it comes to going through that. And below it, 10 of Cups. I think it feels like we really need to have the push for this. Really needs to be a push for this. Okay. Going forward, we have the Sun card, so that's good. Putting light on it, putting light. Could be also solar power. And again, back to the struggle with it. So it looks like they need to have more support from the White House, the powers that be, in order to get this going, because it's something that's being juggled up in the air. Need to get some balance, and they need to see its benefit, the most benefit for people, okay? Rather than the merchants, which have been fueling everything for so long, okay? So I'm kind of getting the same thing as the first one. We've got solar. This could also represent solar power, and it's something that they are struggling with, maybe enough to get solar power going. Let's see what's underneath of it. Okay, what's underneath of it? Looking towards our future, putting that energy there. We've had so much abuses of power with the oil industry, okay? There are other hidden things going on, okay? Things to be uncovered. And a lot of it has to do with our dealings from the past. So it looks like this is going to be a struggle trying to get this all implemented. And there needs to be more aid from the White House, it looks like. We need to have more government aid of really pushing for this and taking the power out of the hands of those that have oil companies and things. It used to be around the time when they had the great earthquake and stuff in San Francisco. You have one, now I used to live in San Francisco and did tours. You have that one hill, and that's where all the moguls lived, up there by the, was it Fairview Hotel? Up in that area, I can't remember exactly. But up in that area is where all the it used to be train moguls, okay, that were running things. Now it's oil. Now it's the oil industry, oil and gas. It used to be also coal. Coal is kind of being phased out. Now it's the oil and gas, and they don't want to let go. It's like a huge octopus with their tentacles wrapped around people's necks. They don't want to let go. Now they've got enough money to last for numerous lifetimes, but it's that greed, don't want to let go. So we'll have to wait and do a reading. You know, it reads the energy as it is now. Okay. It may not go so far in the future, you know. So we'll read on it again. Things can shift, you know. This is just reading as it stands now. So that's what people need to understand about tarot. You're reading the energy that exists in this moment. Now you can try to go forward because people have free will. Things can shift. Things can shift in the next day. They can shift in the next hour because we have free will. If everything were set in stone, you know, then that's something different, but it's not. Things are malleable, flexible. You know, it's like the same thing with astrology. These are propensities coming in. Now, what we choose to do with it is up to us, but these are the things that are coming up. Okay, the energies that are coming in. Are we going to fight with it? Are we going to kowtow to it? Is it a challenge? Okay, so how are we going to deal with these things? It's not set in stone. Okay, any of these things are not set in stone. They are propensities. It's like when you come in, we have reincarnation, but it's not reincarnation where you're a stable persona. Okay, you come in with tendencies. Now, how are these going to play out? It depends on what you find, what circumstances, and what experiences you're going through. Now, that can create a whole different persona. Okay? It can create a whole different persona for that lifetime. So that is also changeable when you come into the transitory realm. Just like you have somebody in a play, it's transitory. Okay, they get a script and they become one thing. Due to the script, they get a different script and it's a whole different scenario. It's kind of like that in a way. You know, you come in with tendencies, you have the energies coming in, okay, with the astrological things, and it's how are you going to deal with that energy and these experiences determine what your persona is going to look like in that lifetime. Okay, so on that note, I'm going to leave this here. Love and light. See you online.